Welcome everyone back to another Battlefield 4 informational video. Now today we got a few stories to go through, the first one being the ability to transfer your stats and progression through current gen to next gen consoles. Now at first, the first time I heard this, I thought this was going to be a perfectly reasonable and very good idea. I heard no reason why it should be disliked in any way. But let's go into it a bit further. Now, for example, say you buy your Battlefield 4, the first copy on current gen, say PS3. Now, of course, you upgrade, you unlock, you start progressing through the game. Then you want to buy the game on the next gen PS4 a few months later. Of course, it seems very reasonable to want to pass your stats. Say you got to level 50 kernel. That would be completely impossible, but say you did for some unknown reason, and you want to continue upgrading, unlocking through your current progression you've done on the current gen consoles to the next gen, seems perfectly reasonable. But of course, people might wait until they get the next gen consoles straight away. They may not buy it on current gen whatsoever. So of course they're going to be at level 1 at what you might seem a disadvantage. Now, Battlefield themselves on Twitter have stated, "We've heard reports of players would like their stats and progression to transfer from current gen to next gen in Battlefield 4. We're investigating." Now, that does seem like they're positive about this idea. They're actually wanting to progress it and take it a bit further, but people have stated that they don't really want it. There was a comment on MP First that I totally agreed with. That people said they didn't want this. They don't want their progression to be passed across because basically, as I stated, people might get it for current gen, then go to next gen, having a massive advantage over people just buying it on next gen to start with. So whether or not you agree with this idea, I don't know if it's exactly happening. It could be, it could not be. It's a bit of a mixed, decisive decision there. But let's move on to the next one, is to do with Battlelog. Now, as I stated in the Battlefield 4 debriefing video about Battlelog, I didn't go into too much detail about the iPad or iPhone minimap integration, where you can connect up the iPad so you can view the minimap in a much larger scale. That's awesome and all, but you can also do this with a second monitor, PC monitor if you have one. You can just connect it up, or your TV if you want to connect up your TV via HDMI or VGA cable. You can do so and view the minimap in a huge scale instead of enlarging it as you can on PC to I think a 3x zoom. Whereas on console you can't do that at all, so you're at a disadvantage anyway. But that iPad tablet thing does help consoles quite a lot. That's very, very effective. But I just wanted to point out that you can use it on a second monitor if you're wondering, or a laptop. If you connect it up to the local network, you can have your laptop, which I didn't realise. I'm very happy about, because I do have a laptop. I didn't plan on getting a second monitor screen in any way, but if you do have one, then you can use that as well. Now, lastly, I wanted to talk about the Battlefield 4 end of round screen. So, as we know, in Battlefield 3, you had the scoreboard, assignments, awards, which will be your medals, ribbons, unlocks, etc. Then you had the progression through vehicles to weapons. And then finally, at the end, you had your stats. That was all very well and good, but very boring and very basic. Now, I found it boring because you had 30-40 seconds remaining, and you just had to watch those seconds count down. You had nothing else to do besides watch your scoreboard, maybe look at your progression, look how much you've leveled up. That wasn't really that great. So I always wanted a loadout or custom class menu so you could change your classes while you're waiting for the next round to start. I thought that was a good idea. They never added it in, unfortunately. But if I show you the picture of the Battlefield 4 end of round screen on screen now, let's start at the top with friends. Obviously you can view who's online, who maybe you can join, whose game you can join, missions, what's ongoing, what you've got to complete, what you can start maybe, soldier, I hope is the loadout section, where you can create your classes and hopefully customize your soldier. Next is reports, which I believe is scoreboard and stats, and of course we all know what leaderboards are. But the last and most important bit of this picture, I think, is the next map option, as you can see where the little red arrow is, it actually tells you what map is coming next, which I think is absolutely awesome, because as we know in Battlefield 3 you got the surprise effect where you had no idea what map or game mode was coming next, you were just along for the ride. So I'm really pleased to see that coming back. I hope you are too. Please do share your opinions of any of these features down in the comment section below. Tell me what you think of any of them. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time.